Me, 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 me. Good morning, precious. Hi, Miss Vicky. How you doing, baby? Happy Monday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Coffee and Conversation with your girl,
Yes, I do. Iced coffee, but it didn't give me any ice.
You get the ice.
Yeah, I was looking at ice.
Is this working over here?
Right.
Y'all say good morning to people before y'all start asking for stuff and asking questions. Yeah, I said good morning first. They got this new contraption, so I'm just trying to get comfortable with it. It's pretty easy if you yeah, you just gotta punch it. Everything is becoming computerized now. So y'all, today is gonna be a long one. I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible, but I don't want to have, I don't want to skip too many steps with parenting, right? So I don't want to skip too much. I don't want to go too fast, because even though when I write the book, it'll be detailed in the book, you might not buy it. So yeah, I'm gonna try to give you as much as I can while I have you, right? Oh, I had a meeting this morning. It was supposed to have been at 10, but they rescheduled for tomorrow. And when I tell you, I was so happy. I don't like doing meetings on a Monday if I don't have to, right? But if I do, I set it at a time after 10 o'clock some days, on a Monday, right after the weekend. Try to do anything and everything that's convenient for me. That's all. That's all. Just like you should be doing the same thing. Doing things that's more convenient for you. That's all. Because life is hard enough. You know what I'm saying? So the things that you can control, right, to make life easier on yourself.
Down here.
Okay. Then do that. And little things like that, to me, being my own boss, being able to set my own schedule, years of getting up bright and early, breaking my neck Monday morning, being at work 7 a.m. I mean, years of doing this, right? Yeah, this is just a little thing that I do. Yeah, Mondays I be wanting to take it easy if I can, right? Not too much hustle and bustle if I can handle it, okay? Sometimes I don't have no control over it. Sometimes I got to work around other people's schedule, right? So I do what I do. So y'all, today, I know you want to get back into raising our daughters, and we are. We're going to get back to it. But before we move and continue, I be wanting to make sure we all on the same page, right? So I'm going to make sure I cover certain things, make sure all the I's is dotted, all the T's are crossed, because I don't want no confusion as we get to that D-Day. Because see, the D-Day, she gone out my life, my daughter, and, so, yeah, I want to make sure we all are there, right? Because I want to hear back from you. Yeah, once we finish this little journey, I want to hear back from you. Who's been following along, right? So let's see where we at. So when you break up with your baby mama, your baby daddy, y'all have to start that new co-parenting relationship like almost instantly, right? Like I tell you, if he broke up with us Wednesday, like if we ended it Wednesday, I had her dropped off Friday. Period. I had her dropped off Friday. Because I'm not going to play those games with you. I know how much you love this baby, regardless of what we're dealing with and going through. You love that baby just as much as me. Last thing I want to do is cause you more hurt and pain with her, right? this is the mindset that I would hope that you guys are in, even after the breakup, right? Because I know you're mad at them, you can't stand them, you don't want nothing else to do with them. I get that. All that personal, I get that. But when y'all share children, you got to step outside of that, right? You got to step outside of that to have a healthy co-parenting relationship. So those same feelings that you have for them of not trusting them because they cheated or whatever they did to you, right? Yeah, you can't have that in this new co-parenting relationship because it ain't about you no more. It's strictly about the baby and what's best for the baby. That's all it's based on, right? You do have to have an ounce of care and concern, right? You do have to have an ounce of love and respect. You do. You have to have that, right? So whatever you have to do to get back there, like when we do the workshop for the parents, I make the workshops remember how they met. Yeah, I make them go back and think about when they first met, right? What was it about this person that drew you in, right? And I know you like, well, what? Can you trying to get them back together? No, I'm not trying to get them back together. But if they do get back together, I'm on board with it. Oh, I'm definitely on board with it. If y'all choose to get back together and raise this baby together, oh, I'm on board with that, right? But no, that's not what it's for. It's basically just to rekindle a friendship. Because a friendship should have been there before y'all got started, right? So I just try to rekindle that. That's all, in the workshop. And it helps us to move forward with the rest of the workshops, right? Because you have to forgive them before you can move forward, right? So that has to be done in the first couple of sessions, right? So let's see. So yep, immediately he left Wednesday. She was dropped off Friday because I'm not going to play them games. But that's exactly what he did. Game started as soon as he left the house. Yeah. So when he told me, I'm going to get my baby, we don't need you, his plan was in motion to figure out what he needs to do so that I'm not needed. Yeah. So to rob a baby of her mother, if that's how low he has to go, if that's the depth of what it is to get satisfaction, to make sure that I'm hurting forever, because I've been hurting every day for the last 6 years. Ever since that baby left, I hurt every day. Yeah, I went from being this happy lady, happy-go-lucky, happy, jolly, happy, friendly, happy, to just sad every day for the last 6 years. So let's see. Yep, not gonna play them games. Yep, y'all have to have a truce. Yep. So if y'all did have ill feelings of one another, couldn't stand each other, mad, you know, like I used to drop her off and I used to speak to everybody. Hey, how you doing? And got the hell from up over there, but I used to speak, chill. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. As soon as she get in the car, when I pick her up, how your mama, how your daddy and them doing? They all right? Okay. Yeah. Period. Right? Because it got to be a truce there. It got to be certain things that you're just not going to do for the sake of the baby, right? It's certain buttons you're not gonna push. It's certain things you're not gonna go so low. You're not gonna do certain. It should be a line drawn. Certain things you just not gonna do, right? So how you feel about them personally? Yep. Because I hated I had to share her with them because they was so mean. They was mean when I was in the marriage. It's just I hated that I had to share her with them. But I knew that's the right thing to do, right? Like when her little brother was born. Imagine he stayed right across the street from his mama, right? Do you know that mama had the nerve to tell me that the wife was wrong for having that baby? She said she told me that she tricked him into having that baby. She told me this. But remember, some days she'll talk to me and some days she wouldn't. One of them days she felt like talking to me. She said that to me, right? Now, not only did she say that to me, but for a whole year, she didn't really do nothing for that little boy. She didn't really see him, didn't nothing. She did for mine, my daughter, right? But she didn't really do nothing for that little boy. Didn't really want to have nothing. Stay right across the street. So when I say mean, you'll know what I mean when I say mean, right? That's mean. Because how could you not, right? That's also another seed that's been planted. Favoritism. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Every seed that was planted through my child was never planted with my other children. I know. So it took a minute to grow, right? But the baby, the seed was there, right? So I know every seed that they planted, I had never planted in my other children, right? So favoritism was planted. So yeah, I didn't deal with that little brother for almost a year, right? So for the mother to have that type of feeling, to say that statement, that's that inappropriateness that I talked to you about. You know how some women treat their sons as if that's their man or something like that? Yeah. She made me feel like the mistress when I was married to him, and it was the same thing with the new wife, right? So through conversations, I would find out that she treated her just like how she treated me. And it's inappropriate. It's like we doing something wrong. Right? We the women in his life, but we doing something wrong, and that's because the mama can't let go. Right? When you raising your son, mamas, we gotta learn how to let go. Right? So for her to feel that way as if he got tricked. He a grown man. And not only is he a grown man, but that was his wife. I don't think she would have had to trick him to having a child. Right? But this is the notion, this is the feeling, this is her mindset. This is what I was dealing with, right? Yeah, so she shouldn't have felt like that. Stayed right across the street, didn't deal with him for almost a year. And I know the baby didn't know, the child didn't know, right? But I'm quite sure my daughter felt something. She young, but she old enough to know that the grandma not affectionate with this little boy, right? She old enough to know and see that the grandma might be buying her stuff but ain't buying nothing for that day, right? She gotta be old enough to know, and by me knowing that they were having inappropriate conversations with her, I'm quite sure she heard grandma say these things to people, right? I tell you, your kids around, you gotta act like the feds is watching. You gotta watch what you say, who you talking to, where they at, right? But I'm quite sure these inappropriate conversations took place that, you know, they were to her. So I'm quite sure so that's favoritism that's introduced, right? So you have to be careful what you introduce to your children. You got to be careful about the environment that you create, and you have to be careful about the influences you have. That can be even family members. Hey, Desmond. You know what? And I might do that, Desmond. That's a good idea. I'm open for all suggestions, baby. Yep. Yep, so you got to be careful about the influence you have. They can be family, friends, co-workers, right? Around your children. Because you can only shelter them from so much. Yep. You can't be around them 24/7. So when the parents bring their kids into my program, that's the first thing I tell them. When they feeling away because they done did so much and their kids still acting out, they be like they just don't understand. I have to let them know. I do know everything starts at home, right? You are the first teacher. But you're not your child's only influence. So once they leave your care, you know, so that's why it's so important to have that village intact, right? Yeah, that village, oh my God. If I would have had dad outside of the village, we probably would have been okay. But considering he the dad, how can I have him outside, right? He was a part of it. So it was easy for him to infiltrate. And that's why it was so much destruction. Yeah. It's when your children trust someone, right? And the betrayal comes from someone they trust. Yeah, it's harder than if it was somebody that was outside the doors, the enemy, the ops. You know what I mean? Common sense, right? So if it's somebody inside the circle or in the village, that's a challenge. So it's either one of y'all right, one of y'all wrong, right? Because if y'all was all together and on the same page, it wouldn't be a challenge. It wouldn't be a fight, right? Just follow me. I know it sounds confusing, but just follow me, right? So, yep, you're not with them 24/7, so they are left to make their own decisions. And when they leave you, you just got to hope that they're making the right ones. You got to hope that everything's stuck, everything you tried to teach them, right? So before we get back to raising our daughters, I want to piggyback from Saturday. So for those of you who don't know, my situation was I was married, got a divorce, was sharing my daughter with my ex-husband, right? When she turned 15 and a half, she told me she wanted to live with him. It was an outburst. We argued. We went back and forth. I dropped her off over there, hoping that we were going to have a cool down period, and haven't heard from her in 6.5 years. So, and everybody okay with it. Yeah. I'm even being forced to deal with it. Yeah, I'm being forced. People are telling me to just accept it. This is what it is, as if this is normal behavior. A child being pulled out of her mother's life, a mother not having no say-so, no nothing. Yeah, as if this is something that happens every day and that it's normal. That's how I'm being told to deal with it. It's been happening. It's been 6 years. It's been, let it go. I know you carried her for 9 months and you took care of her and you did everything you were supposed to do, but let it go. Yeah. A mom not needed? When is a mom not needed? I still wish my mama was here. And my mom was a substance abuse user. Yeah, but she was my mama. Yeah. I would prefer her to be here and me fussing at her every day trying to get her in a treatment program than her not. Right. And that's the type of unconditional love you're supposed to have for your mom. Right. So for mine to be taken away, no kicking, no screaming, and everybody is okay with that, something is terribly wrong, right? Yeah. Not to be recognized, not to be respected, not to be treated as mom. Yeah. By your children. And it's supposed to be okay. Yeah, that's not okay. That's dysfunctional, right? So if it can happen to me, it can happen, and it's happening to people all around the world, right? So I have to put a stop to that. Yeah. Because what if the fact that we're not able to repair our broken home and have a healthy co-parenting relationship is the reason why we've been held back as a people? When I look at the total destruction and what has happened to my family, dreams being deferred, right? When I say we would have been millionaires right now, so to know that we not today, I'm so far from that. That's a destruction. That's destruction of a family. We were a team. There was a lot going on, right? So that didn't come from the hands of a white man. That came from the hands of another black man, another family, other people that looked just like me, that was in the village, right? What if that's going on all over, right? Because when y'all break up, it's not a broken home if y'all manage to forgive one another and working together. It's only a broken home when y'all are disconnected, y'all don't talk, y'all beefed out, it's fight on sight, you keeping that baby from going over there. Yeah, that's when it's broken. But if y'all working together, y'all on the same page after the breakup, yeah. Did you have a business with your baby mama or your ex-husband or ex-wife? Y'all did. Was y'all making money? I know this might sound like a dumb question, but when y'all broke up, did y'all dissolve the business? You did. Dang. What if y'all was able to still work together? What if y'all was still able to run that business? You just on one side of town, they on the other side of town. Y'all still integrate y'all children into that family business and create generational wealth, meaning that never stops. Just go with me for a minute. Because I know it's already y'all dissolved, that y'all don't work together. I understand that, but I'm just saying, just for a minute, go to the land of what if. What if y'all would have still been able to work and run that business? Yeah, so part of our destruction, right? So, yeah. So my small part is coffee and conversation, you know, and creating my 8-week co-parenting workshop, right? So my small contribution is trying to help you create a healthier co-parenting relationship after the breakup. So that's what my videos are for in the morning. All education. Yep. Yeah, because y'all have to raise the children together. Yep. No ifs, ands, buts, nothing. Period. Yep. Y'all have to share that baby, and y'all have to work together to raise that baby. Period. So whatever you have to do to find common ground, whatever you have to do to get that little compromise going, or whatever, to work with one another to make sure the baby is safe, to make sure the baby has everything they need, to make sure the baby gets to where they're trying to be in life, right? Hey, y'all gotta both find a way to work together to do that, and it shouldn't be hard, right? Yeah, we should be raising my daughter together. That's our daughter together. We both should be in her life equally. We both should be contributing. We both should be recognized. We both should be loved and respected. I know. So to be out of her life, for my family to be destroyed, for us to have suffered a loss of income, because we lost her, right? And she's not deceased. Don't worry, she's not deceased. I know that makes the hurt even greater, because this was a conscious decision done by somebody, right? A conscious decision to say, I don't want a mom, and somebody like, okay, you don't have to have one. Let's remove her. And it's okay. Yeah. This has forever changed the dynamic of our family for generations to come. That little stunt introduced different dysfunctions in our family. I wrote about the dysfunctions I had growing up, but him doing this introduced new dysfunctions to our family. Yeah, so loss of income. And that's when I asked about y'all working together, if y'all would have been able to still maintain the business. Yeah, I wasn't able to still maintain, because we was a team of 5. So every project, everything I had us working on, from the cleaning company to filming the trailer for the book, to paint jobs, drywall jobs, to everything. Youth program, everything was based on a team. Me running for office, everything was based on a team of 5, right? So for the child to be pulled out for no reason, no abuse or neglect, yeah, that don't just happen. Yeah. So like I said, so many dreams were deferred. I watched disorders start, develop. Yeah. I watched addictions develop within these last 6 years, right? Just with the loss of that baby. And like I said, she's not deceased. Yep, it was a conscious choice. So for the youngest to be doing everything in my book, going to a black college, a business owner, like I wouldn't be surprised if she had good credit and if she owned where she stayed. Because all that is in my book and all that was taught. But to know she went off to a black college, when she left me, she was in her 11th grade at Cass Tech, and that was the next step, to go off to college. So this was already discussed, this was already in the plans, plan A, in the book, right? So for her to be doing all of that, and for me not to be a part of that, right? What would we have to be beefing about as a mother-child relationship? If she's doing everything that I wanted her to do in life, everything that she wanted to do, fulfilling her dreams, if all this is what, wouldn't I be more so a happy parent and bragging and in her life every day, oh my baby, oh my baby, right? Where would the beef come in at? When would I not be proud? Where would the beef come in at between us? Yeah, think about that. Yeah, I would be happy. What would we be beefing about? Love would be there. We would definitely have a relationship, right? Yeah. Because I did everything I was supposed to do. Typically, when you do everything you're supposed to do as a parent and there's no abuse or neglect, yeah, your child will be mad at you, probably even talk about you with the other siblings. You know what I mean? The most my children could say about me I don't keep a man. Not that I can't, but if they not doing right, I don't have a problem walking away. Not at all. Yeah. Not gonna let you bring me down. I'm not. They can say that. They can make little jokes about that. And they can possibly say things. Some things I fix, break. Some things I build, break. Right? Because I'm just a girl. But that's the most they should be able to say about you. Laughing and joking. Neither one of those is enough for a child to be disrespectful, not have no respect for you, not have no love for you, can care if you live or die. At least it shouldn't be, right? So yeah, there shouldn't be no beef. There should be a place for me. I shouldn't be treated like I did something wrong, right? Yeah. That's madness. So again, my family was destroyed by the hands of a black man, not the man. Yeah. So to think that parents are running around here so mad, hurt, scorned, haven't healed from the breakup, right? Haven't found closure, haven't moved on, and they're using these manipulation tips on the baby to get you back, right? Because see, they can't hurt you no more. Because see, you healed. You done moved on. Yeah, they can't hurt you. They can't get to you. But that baby, by that baby being a part of you, they use these manipulation tips. They condition that baby mind and they lie to that baby to get that baby to go after you. They use that baby like a pawn on the game, just moving it around the board, right? Because they know that that's going to hurt you. Why? Because that baby is a part of you. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. To have your own child disrespect you, to have your own child turn on you, to have your own child challenge you, your baby that you brought. Oh, my goodness. It's the best revenge for them. Because remember, their job is to make sure your life is a living hell because you're not with them. They want to make sure you feel the same hurt and pain that they felt with you leaving. I know, ain't that terrible? Yep. Because why would my children want to intentionally cause me any hurt and pain? Any of them. What reason would they have? Oh, you can think of a couple and put them in the comments. Yep. Why would they want to see me suffer so much pain with them not being in my life, knowing how important they are to me, right? I love my children more than life itself. I mean, I would lay my life down for them. Yeah, no hesitation. I know, all of them. Yeah. So coffee and conversation is to help you do better, see the importance of getting along and working together. Yeah. There's no way my family shouldn't still be intact. Yeah. So in our segment, Raising Our Daughters, we are in 2015, right? I'm still the same person from 2015. So if the love and respect was there in 2015, it should be there in 2025. Yeah. I'm the same person. I have the same morals and values. Yeah. I'm doing the same stuff I was doing back then. Yeah. How I carry myself is the same. How I am with people. Well, that's the same, right? So my life is completely different now. Yeah. And that's impossible considering everything is still the same. Impossible. So many elements of my life are still the same, right? So in 2025, definitely me being a mom and being treated like mom, being loved and respected like mom, should definitely be the same, right? So Saturday we talked about the classes that we taught our kids, right? Talking about the classes we taught our babies. And this is why it was so much damage done to our family, right? Because when I taught those classes, I made sure that they stuck. So that means along the way, if you got kids that's falling behind, you grab their hand or you spend a little more time with them to make sure they right there with the other kids, make sure they learning where they should be, they at the level they're supposed to be at. So I didn't let you go unless you learned it, right? So all these years, just up until 6 years ago, all the teachings and all the classes, they stuck because I made sure. I know this is where it get tricky because this is where all the damage coming in at. They can't unthink none of this stuff. They can't unlearn none of this stuff. So it's a part of them, right? So the classes was taught. They can't be untaught because it's stuck. I made sure. So because the baby was pulled out the way that she was, I was challenged by another adult, a father. All those classes is questioned. So now you got these kids questioning who they are, questioning everything that they ever known, right? Questioning the system that's working well for everyone. Yes, the system was working. You got to keep in mind the boys was on their own. My oldest daughter was in a nursing program. And the baby was in her 11th grade at Cass Tech High. You don't get all of that done if you just sitting back not doing nothing. Yeah, you gotta be working, baby. You gotta be doing something right to have that. And that's exactly what I had, right? Not excluding whatever he did, not excluding whatever the other contributions came from the village, not excluding none of that. But just me being the nucleus of it all and doing everything that I did was the reason why everything was going according to plan. Everything was going according to plan. Everybody was in the same book. Everybody was doing the same thing the baby doing. Everybody was in the same book, on the same page, doing what they were supposed to do in the book, right? Not just the baby, but everybody, right? Just up until 6 years ago, right? So let's see. Those classes were taught. That should have made a difference, right? That should have meant something, right? So the children questioning who they are now is equivalent to, let's just say you just found out you was adopted. All these years you was raised with these two parents. You look like daddy, right? You're 30-some years old and somebody break the news to you that you was adopted. No. Now you're questioning your whole existence, right? So depending on what type of person you are, depending on how you was raised, is going to determine how you're going to deal with this, right? So either you're going to accept it, you're going to still love on these people that's taking care of you and raised you and that you know is mom and dad, right? And you're going to continue to move on. You might want to reach out to your biological family. That might make or break you, right? You might choose to look for them. You might choose to not, because you're happy how things are now, right? Or you can go to a point where you don't forgive them for doing that. You mad at them, right? Shit, now you depressed, you sad, you don't know what to do, so it depending on who you are, it can go different. But the confusion that you have now is similar to the confusion that my children will have now. Because if everything was going as well as planned, why would a father fight so hard to remove it? If anything, you're going to leave that child there where they are. You're going to leave that child where they're thriving, right? You're going to do what's best. There is no way you can tell me that removing a daughter from a mother at age 15 and a half is the best thing for her. That's when a daughter needs her mother the most. So you're not going to convince me that that's the best thing for my daughter when I was doing everything I was supposed to do as a mother, right? So, determine how you deal with it. So that first class, that home ec class, cleaning, how to cook and clean. Yep. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. So what happened when this is questioned? Should they clean? Should they do this? Should they do that? Why should I? Right? But this is what they've been taught their whole life. Cooking and cleaning. Right? Now they question should they do it. So it's borderline. You might have somebody that's trifling now. Somebody whose house is always in a disarray. Nasty. Right? But that's a good thing, right? Teaching them to cook and clean. You think that's helping prepare them for life? Yeah, I thought so. So I made sure that stuck. Right? That religion class. Taking them to church. Teaching them how to pray. Living Christ-like. Always helping people. Always giving back. And them witnessing that. Right? Being there for people. Well, now you questioning that. Now you might not go to church no more. You might not pray no more. You might not believe in God. Right? I know. Breaks my heart. Right? You can care less. Alright? That's question. So you can care less. Yeah. The ethics class. I know. And that's just basically treating people how you want to be treated. Right? Doing what's right when nobody's looking. Well, if you're questioning that now shit. Why do it? Ain't nobody looking. Ain't nobody looking. Ain't nobody gonna see me. Treat people how I want to be treated. I'm treating people how they treat me. I know. See, I quit that mind. That's one thing about these classes. Y'all both got to be teaching. And it's okay if you teach it one way and the other parent teach it another way, just long as the classes are being taught. Right? Yeah, because if they're not, that means the baby has options. Yeah. It's good or bad. Yeah, one or the other. Instead of y'all being on the same page. Right? So yeah, that ethics class, yeah. You treat people how they treat me. Yeah. How they treat me. This compromises the morals and values that you instill. You got them questioning their morals and values now. Yep. Them street smarts. All those tips of safety that you gave them, right? Now, they're questioning all that. Yeah, that's just your mama. Your mama don't know what they talking about. Your daddy they don't know what they talking about. They just don't want me to have no fun. So I'm going to drink that drink that's been left unattended. Not caring if something's been put in it. I'm going to go to the gas station in the roughest part of town in the middle of the night to get some gas. I'm going to make myself a target. Why? It's going to happen anyway, right? Whether I take precautions to prevent it or not, it might happen anyway, right? That's the mindset that you're working with now, with the street smarts individual. Right? I know. Bad decision making come into play. And that was one thing I used to tell my kids every day when they leave the house. Make good decisions. Make good decisions. Every day, whenever they leave. I'm telling them that I love them, and I'm telling them to make good decisions. Yeah. That Black History class that you taught, now they're questioning that. Right? I know. Who cares about the past? Who care what our ancestors went through? Who care about what they did? None of that means nothing right now. It's the mindset now. If you taught that Black History class. Right? But you see how these classes are conflicting if both of y'all are not teaching them? But see, that other parent might not be talking to them about the importance and the contributions that our people made to this country and what we did. And I know, because it's not important, right? Talking about your past. Yep. Well, now you got that other parent that's going against you and having those inappropriate conversations. So everything that you told your child about your past, they can twist it now. They can twist it so much so to where now your child using that against you. Yeah. They lost respect for you because of where you grew up at. Yeah. They don't like you for some of the stuff you done did with your life now. They judging you now. Yeah. I know. Ain't that scary? Here it is. I done told you to be transparent with your babies. And you done told them almost everything. And instead of them taking it in and using it as fuel or using it to help them make decisions as they move forward, they using it against you. Oh, that's your baby. I know. Let's see what other classes we teaching. That life class. And that's a very important class. You definitely want your baby to pass this class because it's all about money management. It's all about paying bills. It's all about being self-sufficient. It's all about being a homeowner. It's all about being an entrepreneur. All this is being taught. Having good credit. Taxes. Don't forget about the taxes. Alright? So if you taught all of this, I know. That means they out here not saving money. They out here not being responsible. They out here not paying their bills on time. Credit jacked up. Instead of saving up to buy a house, they paying all this money in rent, making their landlord rich. Right? The mindset. Because you got to keep in mind, if in my case, I was challenged by an adult. So that means what I was doing was wrong and what they doing is right. So that means all of this that was taught is being questioned. I know. So yeah, that life skills is needed. I would think that that's important, right? Furthering their education, that might not be no longer important. Yeah, because they looking at other people now that's getting by and making it without furthering their education. So of course, why do they have to do it? Why do I have to go back to school? I've been doing just fine this far. I know. That politics class might not be important anymore, right? Why vote? Our vote don't count. I know. So what our people went, yeah, they don't count. Yeah. Why do it, right? That physical health class is questioned now. So all that you're talking to them about portions, eating habits, eating healthy, working out, exercising, taking care of your body, staying drug-free, alcohol-free, right? I don't mean nothing. Yeah. I mean, man, I ain't got to go to the doctor. Yeah, the doctor ain't going to do nothing. Pope ain't going to tell me nothing. I know what to do. I know how to take care of myself, right? They're gaining weight now, right? They having health issues and health concerns. And they're not going to get checked out. Yep. That mental health class. Yep. Well, that's not important anymore. It's not important anymore. It's so stigmatized now. They sweeping problems under the rug. They're not trying to solve nothing. There is no way me and my baby should be going this long.
She said she thought that was
Without
over here.
Yeah. It's been 6 years.
So y'all ain't got
My
none.
children were taught to apologize. My children were taught to accept accountability
What is this, baby?
when they wrong. You know what I'm saying?
What is these flavors for?
They was taught to forgive. Yeah, we apologize to each other. Yeah, it's so hard to not know that rather than talk to me and try to fix whatever the problem is, just rather just not deal with me at all. Like that's so hard to accept, right? So yeah, so the mental health, knowing that they can get treatment, like not letting disorders take over their life, right? Because then that's opening the door for the addictions. Yeah. And that's what you use to cope and deal with the problems instead of solving it, getting to the root of it. Right? This is all the complete opposite of what I taught. So this is all the stuff that my children might be struggling with and dealing with. All of it. Because even though the baby doing what I said in the book, for her to have that disconnect from me and feel like I'm not needed, and I'm the one that wrote the story, it got to be some mental issues. It got to be some issues going on internally that we can't see. Right? I know. So in my case, I was challenged by an adult. Yep. Somebody, a father, who portrayed as if they can do it better and they know what's best, right? They can do a better job than me, right? And he ain't teach none of the classes. I was teaching him when he was with me. I know. Yep. So either he wasn't teaching the classes or he was teaching the complete opposite. Yeah. She's doing a lot of what I taught her. So it's hard that I'm not being acknowledged, right? Right. Yeah. So I taught all these classes to 5 children. Yeah. And I got the product that I was looking for. Just up until 6 years ago, we was working together. We was working on a trailer. The girls was coming up to the radio show with me. They were mentors in the youth program, Attitude Adjustment. Yeah, we was going on paint jobs together. We was cleaning the buildings together. Just up until 6 years ago. I was so happy. My whole life, no matter what I dealt with, no matter what I was going through, every problem has a solution. I pray. If I can't do nothing about it, I give it to God. I mean, this is how I live my life my whole life. And as a result, I've been happy. Yeah. Just up until 6 years ago. Yeah. So to teach all those classes and do so much to make sure they learn, just for them to be doing the complete opposite. I know. For them to be exposed to everything I was sheltering them from all this time. I know. And all just within the last 6 years. I know, you're going to have another quiz. So I hope you're paying attention. And I said 6 years, how many times? I'm just throwing it out there. Yep. So this is the adverse effect that we talk about. So we talk about the psychological damage that's caused when we use these manipulation tips, right, on the baby. So this is the adverse effect that you will probably get if those manipulation tips were used, right? So the manipulation tips, the lies, the conditioning, whatever worked for me not to be in her life, yeah. To not be loved and respected. I haven't felt like mom in 6.5 years. Nobody mama. And that was a big part of my life. I've been a mama since 16, so my whole everything was being a mom, right?
No, you got the attitude because you work here. And you've been rude to her, you've been rude to me. There ain't no girl here. I'm 70 years old. I am 70 years old. We don't get this home, big girl. Yeah, same to you. And you don't care. You don't care, but bitch. I hope you see what she's doing. You see? And I'm shit so motherfucker.
Ooh, Lord. Okay. We're going to leave. I was going to talk to you about the shows that we grew up on. Some of the ones that I grew up on, right? But I think I'll say that for tomorrow because it's getting a little elevated. And this baby is old.
Well, you know what? I'm retired military. I ain't worried about it. Other you need to look in the mirror, child. You gotta look at shit running out your mouth. You
Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus.
I hope it's okay.
Hey, Isaiah. Hey, Desmond. Hey, Keith. I'm sorry y'all had to get over this. Say, Brother Dion. Get up out of here, baby.